Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm back here at Infiniti of Flemington to take a look at this brand new 2023 Infiniti QX60. This is the entry-level pure trim in graphite shadow. And what I would like to do with this review today is take a look, check this QX60 out, see if the pure or entry-level trim is worth looking at, or do you have to go up in trims to at least the Lux to get what you want as far as features in a QX60? So let's check it out, and now let's dig in. All right, we're at the front end of this QX60, and I like what I see. The graphite shadow plays really well off of the black on the grille, top and bottom. You got the big Infiniti badge in the middle. You have LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals. We don't have any fog lamps on the front. Let me know how you feel about that. And we do have fake side air curtains on either side. You know, if you're going to put the design in there for the air curtain, just punch them out and make them functional. That's my view. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. We have Infiniti spelled out on the chrome below the Infiniti emblem. So everything is looking really good on this pure so far. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments. All right, the wheel and tire package on this entry-level pure trim QX60. We have an 18-inch wheel. We have gunmetal gray and silver on the wheel, Infiniti badge on the center cap. Looking good, nice attractive wheel. Not too crazy, but very handsome looking. And now we have the wheels wrapped in Kumho all-season tires, 255 on the width, a good size 60 series sidewall, 18s, all four corners, all-wheel drive. Full side profile on this QX60. I like the way the graphite shadow gray paint plays off the flat black around the wheel wells and on the door sills. We do have chrome around the windows, but that ties in well with the wheels. So I think it's a really good looking vehicle. And for a pure trim, I think they've really made it look good on the outside. And I love the fact they've given it LED lighting on an entry-level trim here on the QX60. I like the sloping roof, gives it a more sporty look. So they really hit the nail on the head with the exterior design of this QX60. Now, as we move on in closer, we are gloss black on the side view mirror with LED turn signals. We have color matched with some chrome on the front and rear door handles, left side fuel filler cap, up top color matched with a shark fin antenna, and then a nice large dual panel sunroof. All right, the rear end of the QX60 Pure, we do have a roof spoiler coming off the top. The window wiper is down on the bottom of the glass. We do have LED lighting all over the back, LED tail lights, LED brake lights, LED turn signals. I like that in entry-level trim. The all-wheel drive badge on the left, QX60 on the right with Infiniti spelled out right in the middle. We do have flat black and some brushed chrome or darker chrome around the bumper area. Now, those flat black areas look like they could be fake exhaust vents to fake a quad tip because the exhaust is actually tucked up underneath the right side of the vehicle. Not so sure about that design. Might have looked better smoothed out. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments. All right, we're under the hood of this 2023 QX60, and what do we have for a power plant? We have a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. 295 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque, MPGs 20 in the city, 25 on the highway, 22 combined. The engine's minimum octane rating is 87 for regular unleaded. However, in the owner's manual, Infiniti recommends you use a 91 octane fuel, which is premium unleaded, for optimum engine performance. Okay, before we get into the interior, you're going to want to know, Mike, how much does this QX60 Pure all-wheel drive cost? Well, this is an interesting vehicle because there's only one option on this vehicle, and that is the splash guards for an additional $230. So the Infiniti QX60 Pure trim before options is $51,200. You add that $230 in for the splash guards, and then you add $1195 for destination and delivery, and your total MSRP is $52,625, which puts it right in line with a Nissan Pathfinder pricing. However, that would be the Pathfinder Platinum, the top trim, as these two vehicles are on the Pathfinder platform. So let's see if it's worth it, or do you go Pathfinder Platinum, or do you go to a higher level QX60? It's an interesting comparison. All right, starting with the footbox, nice large dead pedal brake and accelerator. Door sill plates, we have that aluminum door sill plate with Infiniti on it to welcome you to the car. Seating, we have power seats for the driver and the front passenger, which is nice, with lumbar. And then we have leather seats, black leather, white stitching, nice design, headrests, nice and soft, nice bolstering on the seats, really nice looking interior for an entry level, and you got leather instead of leatherette, which is a nice touch. Door panel, nice looking door panel with the soft touch up top and the stitching, some gloss plaque around the brushed aluminum door handle, but nothing too crazy. We have a nice soft armrest on the door with the stitching, with the flat black on the switchgear. It's a really good looking door panel. And I like the way, even though I don't like piano gloss black plastic, but I like the way that trim comes from the door right into the dash. It gives it a nice sense of motion, kind of rounds it off, even though it's very square. So we have the stitching and soft touch up here, more stitching down here. Again, we have more of this gloss black plastic, but they integrate the heat and air vents really nicely into that trim. And then we come down to the glove box, and we have a nice large glove box. Infotainment system time. Here we go with Infiniti's 12.3-inch infotainment system. But the one thing that's missing from it is there is no built-in navigation, since we're in the entry-level Pure. Understandable. So we have wireless Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto, Bluetooth to phone, Wi-Fi hotspot. Go to your connections. You can connect up to 6 devices. It is a touch screen, so that's nice. We can go to our home menu, and from here we can go through the menus of how we might want to customize our home screen. So they have some nice features in this base, and I like the fact they're giving you a 12.3-inch screen rather than a smaller screen here in this QX60. So that's a nice touch as well. The backup camera, nice and large, with trajectory, pretty good clarity. Now there is no 360-degree view camera in here, being the base trim, so it would have been nice to have this take up the whole screen, but you can't have everything, but it is looking good. And we go back into park. We come down further. We have our heat and air vents right here. We come down a little bit further, and we have this nice setup for our dual climate control, which is a nice touch. We have 3-stage heated seats for the driver and the front passenger, and a heated steering wheel. So they got you covered there. But this, again, is full of piano gloss black plastic. And this isn't like haptic feedback. These are actual buttons. And if you hear when I push it, you could hear the noise of the button going in and out. And they just cover it with gloss black plastic to kind of make it look fancier. But it isn't, and I wish they might have done something else here. Now, down further, we have our stop-start to start the car, turn off the car. Here's your auto engine off button. I hate those things. Here's our drive modes. Here's the gear shift that's going to take you through this 9-speed auto. Over here, you can see everything here. We have a USB-C, a USB-A, and a wireless charging pad. That's a nice setup for an entry-level trim. Now we have 2 cup holders. I like the aluminum trim around it. And then our Infiniti key fob, just like the Nissan key fob, except you have the Infiniti badge up top. And then from here you have lock, unlock, pop the tailgate, and panic button. No remote start. but nice weight, nice and easy to handle. Down further here, you have your dial and your menu to go through your infotainment system if you don't want to use the touchscreen. Parking brake, auto vehicle hold, and then we have a nice armrest, semi-soft with the stitching. You open it up, and in here you have a nice area for storage, all felt lined with a 12 volt and another USB. Looks like an A. Infiniti steering wheel, nice leather wrap steering wheel with the stitching, looking good. Infiniti badge in the middle. We have some brushed aluminum trim to finish off the wheel to make it look classy. It's flat bottom to help you get in and out of the vehicle, which is a nice touch. Flat black on the switchgear with some more brushed aluminum on top instead of the gloss black plastic, which I like. And then on the left here, we have our controls for our music and whatnot. And then on the right side, we have our telephone voice commands and our cruise control action. We do have paddles to go up and down this 9-speed automatic transmission. On the left stalk, we have our headlights. On the right, we have our front and rear wiper. Down below, a lot of blank switches. Pop the tailgate. These will fill in as you go up in trims. Here, brighten and dim the dash right behind here. This is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. We look at our dash, and we have a digital analog combo, digital gauges for our speedometer, tachometer, fuel level, and coolant temperature. And then we have it looks like about a 7-inch digital display in the center where you can go through other information that you may want to see. And it's easy to come up. This is using the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. And so you have a whole bunch of different information you can look at. So it's a nice touch overall. All right, we got our drive mode action going on. And what do we got going? Well, we got a personal drive mode. Then we can go to sport. Then we can go to auto. Then we can go to eco. And then we can go to snow. So there you have it. No pictures or wild graphics when you hit these different drive modes. It's just plain, simple, and easy to figure out. And that's where you have it. And you got all the drive modes I think you really need. Driver door panel. We have 2 memory seat settings for the driver. I like that. And we have power folding mirrors, which is great to see on a base trim Infiniti QX60. And when you lock the car, those will fold in. Terrific. Overhead console action. This is what we got going on. Here's our button right here. This button needs to remain on with the orange light on if you want the dome lights to go on and off when you open and close the door. When you open the door, the dome lights go on. These are non-LED lights, and when you close the door, they will go off. We have a spot right here for your shades. You got your SOS button right here in case there's an emergency while you're on the road. And now we have our controls for the panoramic roof. So first control is for the shade, and you hit it once, just have to touch it, and on back it goes, halfway, touch it again, all the way back over to mid-row passengers, so that's nice. And then the other switch is to open the glass comes right up, there's your wind buffeter right up there, and open she goes. To close it, one touch back. Really nice feel on these switches in this Infiniti QX60. They're nice and positive. They feel quality switches rather than something that is on the cheaper side. It just has that really nice positive feel and click when you press the switches in this vehicle. And now you're closed up and it's looking good. Sun visor, we got one. We got lighting and a vanity mirror. And now does it slide? Yes, it does. To block out the side sun. Good job. All right, we're going to get in the mid-row of this QX60, and as we move up to the door, again, we have the nice door sill plates in aluminum to welcome you to the vehicle, and now we're going to hop on in. And look at this room. This seat is set for my driving position. Plenty of knee space, plenty of headroom, plenty of shoulder width room at 5'11". Leather all the way down, no plastic. Then we have a seat pocket behind both front seats, very nicely done. And then in the back, we got a little command center here in this entry-level Pure trim. We do have a single zone climate control for the rear, which is nice. And then down below that, you have a USB-C, a USB-A, and a 12 volt. So they got you covered for power. So really nicely done. We are missing heated seats. That's where these switches would be. But if you move up in trims, you can get the heated seats in the back or heated and ventilated in the back, depending on how far up the food chain you go. So in the back, again, really nice looking door panel. We have the same nice use of materials with the stitching all the way around, same design. So you can see front door panel looking good. Back door panel looking the same. Really well done by Infiniti on these door panels. Seating, nice leather seats with the stitching, with the headrest. Looking good, nice and comfortable. Now we have our armrest that comes down. Nice and soft, 2 cup holders. So in the back of this, they really got you covered. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know, I guess I didn't know what to expect in an entry-level Pure, but this is exceeding my expectations based on what I see in here and the features they actually have in this vehicle for an entry-level trim. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments. All right, third row time in this Infiniti QX60. And how do you move the seat forward in the mid row? Same as a Pathfinder, not surprising. You hit this button right here, and the seat moves up and out of the way. So you have plenty of room to get in. And compared to other ones, this is a pretty good amount of space to get into the third row. So we're in, and now we'll have a seat. And here we go, and here we go. And in the back seats, I'm going to start with the seat quality. Nice material, nice stitching. Now, this is not, I don't believe the third row is leather, because the window sticker only says leather seats for the front and the mid row. So this could be a leatherette, not sure, or it is leather and the window sticker just omitted it. Hard to say, but it has the stitching, it has the look, it has soft headrests. They look really good. We have 2 cup holders in the back with USB connectivity action on both, on one side, on the right side of the vehicle. On the left side, you could see where it was going, but it's not here. I would like to see one USB on either side, because now if I want connectivity in the third row, I either have to rob the one from the passenger sitting next to me, or I have to rob one of them from the mid row. So that's not the greatest. We do have the heat and air vents in the ceiling all throughout the mid row and third row, so I got plenty of heat and air. But just like we saw in the Pathfinder, we don't have a lot of legroom. Knees are a bit high. This seat right here is not quite all the way back, and there is not a lot of room. If this seat came back to about here where the other one is, it would be over the top of my feet. So again, children, small adults, fine. Larger adults are not going to be able to handle this unless you have somebody really short in the mid row and they can move it up. But otherwise, it's really well appointed in here. The only thing lacking that I really would like to have back here is give me that USB on the left side of the third row, just not one on the right side. All right, tailgate time here in this Infiniti QX60 Pure. Please excuse all the pollen on the car, but pollen's pouring down from all over the place around here, so it's really hard to keep these things perfectly clean when they sit out in this pollen. But before we get to that, I had to take these out. Here are the carpeted floor mats that go in the vehicle that say QX60, Infiniti QX60 on them. Really nice. So now you can pop the tailgate from your key fob, or you can come to the front and to the back, and right here above the N in Infiniti, there's a button. Just push that, and there we go. Beeps a couple of times. Nice electric assist on the way up. Nice electric assist on the way down. Love to see that on the base trim. Now we have the third row up. We got a good amount of space back here. We have these aluminum protectors here, so when you're putting stuff in and out of the car, you're not going to bust everything else up, which is nice. Good amount of space though, like I said, with the third row up. You do have a 12 volt back here for power, so I like that action. When you open this up, you have more storage, and a good amount more storage in here, which I like. And your spare tire is tucked up underneath the bumper. So there is a spare, but you have to get at it from underneath the car. Now, third row down, piece of cake. We first move the headrests down on either side, and then hit the button. Little stiff. And now Down we go. And now I think this is the way most people are going to roll. Third row's down, much more space back here, looking good. And now mid-row action, you can get them down, but again, there is no release from the tailgate area for the mid-row. So to do that, it's just like the Pathfinder. You got to hit this lever and the seat folds flat. Go around the other side. And the seat folds flat. And now with that mid-row down, you maximize your space. A lot of great use of space for those really large items here in this QX60. Really like how Infiniti and Nissan does their space design on the interior. They max it out, and I think that's really, really good for the consumer. Here is the window sticker for this QX60 Pure. And I'm going to zoom in. Everything you see in here is standard equipment. Like I mentioned earlier, there is no options except for those splash guards. There's your total price. So, let's take her out for a spin. All right, we are out driving this 2023 Infiniti QX60 Pure with the all-wheel drive. And first things first, I want to get out of the way is I'm impressed with this entry-level trim. And I'll tell you why. Everything you really need as far as amenities in here, you have. Not wants, but actual needs for everyday living. You have your LED lights up front and out back for safety, which I like. You have heated seats for the winter, especially in your cold weather area. Heated steering wheel, got you covered there. Wireless charging. You got your drive modes. You got the leather seats. You got the panoramic roof. All of this standard equipment on the QX60 Pure. I think that's great value in this trim level. I was really expecting to say, you know what, this is nice, but to get what you really need, you need to go Lux. Not anymore. I think they got this right where it needs to be as an entry-level trim, and they're providing really good value for 52 and change. Let's say 53, where your Lux is going to be 58. So I really think they got a great package going on in here for tech and for safety. Plus they have all of your safety technology in here. Blind spot monitoring, cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, active collision braking alarm, all that stuff is in here. So that's a plus too for the entry level trim. So I love how all this is. And I love the way they have done this trim because it's attractive to me as a customer when I see an entry-level trim as nice as this. Now, we're going to get into our driveline and driving dynamics. But first, we're going to come up here and we're going to do a emergency stop. In 3, 2, 1. Nice and linear, no pulling the wheel. I had the anti-lock brakes flapping back at me, so the wheels didn't lock up. And now we're ready to rock and roll. Nice linear torque delivery from this 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6, the 9-speed automatic. Really smooth on the shifts. Again, this is the same driveline that we saw when we reviewed the Nissan Pathfinder, because both of these vehicles are on the Nissan Pathfinder platform, as Nissan does own Infiniti. So really nice handling, really good. Now this is a bit lighter. I have it in sport mode, which stiffened it up a bit, but it is a bit lighter. Not as much feedback coming through the wheel as we saw on the Pathfinder. So my guess is Infiniti probably luxed up the steering a little bit as they luxed up this vehicle and made it more comfortable steer for everybody, not just maybe the driving enthusiast. So I think that works. You got great room in here for your passengers and for your gear. The handling is okay, but it's wallowy in the corners, even sport mode. Not designed for that kind of action, but a really sound power plant and driveline in this QX60 all-wheel drive. Nobody's behind us here, so we're going to come to a stop. Go to manual drive, use the paddles in 3, 2, 1. Very nicely done. No problems there. We'll try that again, just for fun. In 3, 2, 1. And it shifts right when you ask it to shift. On the upshift it does, on the downshift it does. So they have this tuned very well, very well. Now this isn't going to be a corner carver, this isn't going to be an enthusiast car, but if you want to have some fun driving it and put it into sport mode and use your paddles, they got you covered. So I like that. I like the flexibility that this brings. I love the practicality that this brings. And I love the value that this brings with the entry-level trim, because frankly, they didn't need to put all the tech in here that they did. They could have omitted the wireless charging pad from this and people probably wouldn't have complained because it's a base trim, but they provided the value by adding that. 3, 2, 1. Really well done. Really love how the car feels underneath me. I feel very confident driving this SUV. So Infiniti's got a real winner here, and that's probably why this is the #1 selling Infiniti in the United States. Hands down, it's not even close. And you can see why. It's just a really well put together vehicle with a great power plant. I love the fact that they stayed with the naturally aspirated V6 rather than going to a turbo 4. And the 9-speed's just great. So well done, Infiniti. Well done on this trim. Really well done. Now the question becomes, and we're going to put this back into regular drive, let the transmission shift for itself. We'll take it out and put it back into normal. So the question becomes, we're at 53 G's in this Infiniti Pure QX60 at entry level. For this same price, you can buy a Nissan Pathfinder Premium, top trim on the Pathfinder, with all the action going on in it. All the tech. Maxed out on options completely. And I did this in the car configurator last night. You can go maybe 55 on a Pathfinder if you go two-tone paint. So this is right in there with the Pathfinder Platinum. So do you go with the Infiniti Pure and take a little less to get that Infiniti name, because it is a premium badge, and a better bumper-to-bumper warranty, or do you go with the Nissan Pathfinder to get the extra tech for a similar price, but you're going to get less of a warranty and obviously not the prestige of the Infiniti badge? Let me know how you feel about that in the comments. It'd be interesting to find out from you how you feel about that. But I've been very impressed with this vehicle. If you're looking for a QX60, put the pure trim test drive. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. We're going to wrap this review up here. I want to thank Infiniti of Flemington for allowing the channel access to this 2023 QX60 pure all-wheel drive for review today. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.